Hello everyone, welcome back to the Drivers Room. We're in the Sunday League again today. This is Season 2 of 2020, Round 5 Tier 1. We're in a one-make race in the Zonda Rs at Mazzior GP Circuit 2. Our grid walk today on pole we have Martin B. He's our championship leader at the moment on 91 points. Back to winning ways last round for Martin, and he holds a 20 point lead at the top of the table at the moment, but obviously rounds getting dropped, that will close up a bit, but definitely the man to beat this season. In second place we have Drsl. He's third in the table at the moment, 69 points. Round to forget last round at Brands for Des. Back on form today, narrowly missing out on pole. Let's see if he can take the fight to Martin today. In third place we have Lionessi. He's 12th in the table at the moment, 21 points. First appearance in T1 last round and finished solid second place. So definitely a championship contender if he manages a full season. In fourth place we have Hit the Mac, another reserve driver. He's only made one appearance this season, so 16th in the table, 16 points. But again, definitely a championship contender if he can get a full season in. We see how he gets on starting from fourth. In fifth place we have myself, DJ Rice, fourth in the table at the moment, 50 points. Struggling a bit this season, but did manage a third place finish in round 3. That being my best result of the season so far. In sixth place we have Wilco. He's 8th in the table at the moment, 34 points. Top 5 finish in round 3, still Wilco's best result so far this season. Definitely struggling to find the form that he had towards the end of last season. In 7th place we have Mungino, 5th in the table at the moment, 42 points. Solid 4th place finish last round for Mung, but missed rounds 3 and not a great result in round 1. So definitely be the results he'll be looking to drop moving forward. In 8th place we have Alex. He's 2nd in the table at the moment with 71 points. He missed the last round. He's not getting on with his Zonda today, so he's got a lot of work to do starting from 8th today. We'll see how he gets on. In 9th place we have Kenny, 9th in the table as well on 31 points. Best result still coming from round 3, picking up a 7th place. Finds himself in a very tight midfield battle in Tier 1 this season. In 10th place we have Daz. He's 11th in the table at the moment, 26 points. Best result last round, picking up an 8th place. Only man starting on the soft tyre today, everyone else starting on the super softs. We'll see how he gets on from 10th. In 11th place we have Bullet, 7th in the table at the moment, 38 points. Missed round 3, but has scored pretty steadily throughout this season. So he's got a lot to do starting from 11th today. In 12th place we have MJR Mercer. He's 6th in the table at the moment on 41 points. Top 5 finish last round. Results improving race by race this season. He's got a lot to do starting from 12th today. And in 13th place we have Rocker. 14th in the table at the moment, 20 points. Missed rounds 3 and a poor result in first round. Probably the results he'll be looking to drop moving forward. But again, he'll be finding himself in a very tightly contested midfield battle in Tier 1 this season. That is our grid walk for today. Let's get underway. Then just watching Martin on pole. Round 5 Tier 1. About to get underway as we build the revs up. Beautiful looking car, this Drsl. Bit of a monster to drive, and we're underway anyway. Looks like everyone's got away cleanly. I think Martin bogged down a little bit there. Yeah, looks like Drsl might have a run going into the first corner. So yeah, Drsl up to first. He might well. So Lioness, he's got the inside as well. So Martin dropping right back down to 4th. Martin right back down to 5th now, so yeah, just bogged down a little bit off the line and got caught out by a few drivers there. So you've got Drsl in first place now, Lioness in 2nd, Hit the Mac in 3rd, myself up into 4th, Martin in 5th. I think Bullet's made up a couple of places from the start as well, so Bullet up into 8th. Alex down to 10th. Daz has lost a couple of places there as well. So everyone's just settling down now. There's a couple of drivers side by side there. I think Mungino and Bullet running side by side. Bullet might well have the inside. It's very fast left, but don't really want to be going side by side through there as he just slots back into 8th place. Mungino holds on to 7th for the moment. Canyon 9th, Alex in 10th. 11th, 12th and 13th, pretty close together at the moment. All positions being retained. tyres, just coming up to the end of the lap run. There's that Bullet having a look on the inside of Mungino there as he just gets his nose in. Mungino's going to have the inside of this left, but if Bullet can hold it round the outside, he'll get the inside of the next corner. I think he's got the job done there. So yeah, Bullet up to 7th place there, good move. Mungino just holding on to 8th place for the moment. Canny close behind in 9th as well. So we come onto the main straight for the first time. So Drsl leading the way in first, Lioness in second, Mac in third, myself fourth. Martin in 5th, Wilco in 6th, a little bit of a gap back to Bullet now, but see Bullet's got a bit of clean air if he can start closing the gap to Wilco up ahead. Mungino and 8th still under pressure from Canny at the moment. Mercer just about ahead of Daz. That's Rocker Alex going wide there, so Alex having a bit of an incident early on in the race. Drops right back to the last place there, some massive pretty massive for the championships at the moment, and Alex really needs to start closing the gap. You see Lioness having a bit of a connection issue there, and that's myself running wide there. Martin slips through, a little bit of a crash there, losing about 3 or 4 places. So Mungino and Canny sweep past as well, so yeah, a little bit of mistake there. Was running in 4th, hitting the wall, nearly collected Martin as well, but yeah, dropped right back. So that's Martin back up into 4th place. See Mac is all over the back of Lioness still in the early stages of the race. So Martin up to 4th now, Wilk up to 5th, Bullet in 6th, Mungino 7th. Looks like I've just got ahead of Canny somewhere. So got myself back up into 8th, Canny 9th. Daz in 10th, and Rocker up to 11th now, so I think we've lost Alex from the back as well, so down to 12 runners now. Mercer taking up the 12th spot. Back by leader Drsl now. So a lot of lag spiking going on from Lioness behind at the moment. Oh, it's going to make it difficult for Mac to get a move done. If he gets close enough, he seems to have dropped back a little bit for the moment. A little bit of field spread with the top 5. As yeah, I think Bullet's really closed that gap up to 156.4, 156 flat for Bullet, so half a second quicker last lap. As he starts to reel Wilco in a little bit. Mungino in clean air in 7th. It looks like Canny's back ahead of myself. Got himself up into 8th place now. Myself down to 9th. Daz still in 10th, Rocker 11th, Mercer in 12th. Drsl still leading the way at the moment. Speaking from experience, this car not very friendly on tyres and is very, very thirsty. So we could see some different strategies play out today. We'll see how it pans out. So we see already just coming up to 5 minutes, and probably what's that, 60% of fuel left, nearly half a tank done in 5 minutes. Very, very thirsty car. Martin a little bit better on the fuel at the moment. See Mac just running a little bit wide there, losing some momentum. Might well come under pressure from Martin now coming onto this straight. Still got the slipstream of Lioness up ahead to protect him, so he might be alright. Is that Mac nearly getting the job done and Lioness there? I think there was a change of positions mid-corner. Still a little bit jerky. 2nd place. Quite a little bit risky to make an overtake. You see Martin bumper to bumper with Mac there coming through the last 2 corners. So the end of lap 3 now. Martin all over the back of Mac. Is he going to have a look into T1? That's a pretty comfortable moves. Martin's got himself up into 3rd place. Be the next man to try and contend with Lioness up ahead. This is allowing Drsl to pull away a little bit. And wow, yeah. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to really want to try and make a move online at this stage of the race, as that car is looking unstable to say the least. Polyphony having serious issues with their servers lately. So anyway, so a quick run through the grid again. Drsl in first place, looks like he's got a couple of seconds back to Lioness now, still under pressure from Martin in third. Max dropped back a little bit in fourth, but Wilco in clean air, front and back in fifth. Looks like he's just pulled a bit of a gap to Bullet, as Bullet was closing up behind. That's another Mungino's lagging out a little bit there as well. So anyway, Bullet in 6th, Mungino 7th, myself in 8th. Got back ahead of Canny again somewhere, so myself back up into 8th, Cali 9th. As up in 10th, Rocker 11th, and Mercer still in 12th. Struggling today in the Zonda. So yeah, quite a difficult car to drive, to be honest. This was my track and my car pick. Do love the car, but probably should have tested. Wasn't the best suited for this track. But at the same time, did throw up a bit of a challenge. This is what the Sunday League is all about. So Lioness continuing second place. We've got Mac pitting from, that's a really early pit stop from Max. As Wilco moving up into 4th place now, Bullet up into 5th. So where Mungino has just come past the start finish line. So Mungino up to 6th, myself up to 7th. A long pit stop for fuel. And Mac rejoins in 9th place after that very early pit stop, so really out of sync with the top guys now. May have just wanted to try and find a pocket of clean air to get some good lap times in. It's probably only got about a second and a half before he's on the back of myself and Kenny. See how that pans out for him. Excuse me. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. 9th place at the moment, early stages of the race. We've still got Drsl in the lead. A reasonably comfortable lead at the moment. Lioness Martin B not that far away. We'll see what Bullet can do behind Wilco. Mungino's settled down again. And looks like Mac trying to get the job done on Canny there, just not finding the way past at the moment. Obviously he's on the fresher rubber and really wants to get some good lap times in, so he gets the overtake done there. So he's up into 8th place, but he runs wide. This may give Canny another look again. So yeah, he made the place up but ran wide. Canny moves himself back up into 8th place. 7th, 8th and 9th running very close together at the moment. And we've got Drsl pitting from the lead, so that will promote Martin up to 1st place. So Martin's got ahead of Lioness there somewhere as well. Let's have a little look back. So yeah, it's rejoining the action midway point at lap 5. So let's jump on board with Martin, see where he got this move done. So line going a little bit defensive, but Martin just throws it right up the inside. Says I'm having that. And that's quite a comfortable overtaking then, just looking for Lion in the mirrors there. You can see him in that poxy little mirror on the side of the Zonda there. But yeah, pretty comfortable move. Martin up into 2nd place now, Lion down to 3rd. See Drsl just about to make his pit stop from 1st place, which will promote Martin up to 1st. Our championship leader takes the lead of this race for the first time. Close to 2nd, so Wilco up into 3rd now, running well. Mungino in 4th. And see where Mac is in comparison with Drsl. And that looks like a massive undercut. So yeah, Mac up into 5th now, Canny 6th as Drsl slots into 7th. He's got a few people, myself and Bullet pitting behind as well. So yeah, Drsl was in the lead this race. Mac pitted about 2.5 minutes ago, and yeah, he's managed to get the undercut done. He may well have taken on less fuel as well. Yep, I don't think he fueled for that last pit stop, so that may well be the difference. Now he's managed to jump Drsl at the pits. Canny's still holding on to 6th at the moment, under a lot of pressure from Drsl on the fresh rubber. Look up the inside, see if he gets the job done down this straight. He's got a good run. very, very close in the slipstream. See if he pulls out. But he's not close enough yet. You really need to get well ahead before that this very fast section, otherwise, yeah, that can happen. Yeah, it's a very, very fast S's section of this track that yeah, it certainly isn't going to allow this big boy side by side through it. So Drsl losing out there. Kenny holding on to 5th place. So Drsl face plants the barriers. So Bullet's closing the gap up to Drsl now as well. So it's really opened things up at the front of this race. And I think we've lost Lioness. Let's take a look back. So yeah, just rejoining the race a little bit further back. So Lioness has had connection issues throughout this race, and we'll just see if it's if he just DCs. Oh, he has a. I think he's having an incident there. You can't tell what the car's doing at the moment. He's right in the middle of the track, stranded. Oh, thank God for ghosting, and yeah, he just drops out there. I think that was Wilco just going through the ghosted car of Lionessi there. But yeah, Lioness DCs, drops out the race, promotes Wilco up into 2nd, Mangino in the 3rd. Pretty much promotes everyone up a place in the lower part of the table. We've got Mac up into 4th now. Candy in 5th, Drsl in 6th, Bullet 7th, myself 8th, Daz 9th, Rocker 10th, and Mercer 11th. And we have Wilco pitting from 2nd place as well, so that's going to promote a few more drivers. There's Mangino and Mac coming through. Mangino still yet to pit. Mac on that fresh rubber as he looks into T1. Should be a pretty comfortable move there. Yeah, he gets the job done, moves himself up into 2nd place now. Mangino down to 3rd, still yet to make his first pit stop of the race. Drsl in clean air now, see if he can start getting the hammer down a little bit and recoup some of that lost time. Bullet in 5th, myself in 6th. Both having made stock. Bullet a little bit better on the fuel at this stage of the race. And Wilco rejoins the race in 7th place. Let's see if we start closing the gap up to myself and Bullet up ahead. Kenny clean there front and back as well, and oh, just missed Daz going off the track a little bit. Let's have a little look back. Just rejoining Daz, just finishing his outlet. So he's going to get caught out by T1. He's gone for the soft racing softs again. Oh, it's a little bit wide for a T1 and clatters the barrier. Doesn't get the full spin, so he's got to turn that car around. Nice 180 there, but Rocker's still a little bit further down the road. He's just coming through T1 now. Rocker moves himself up into 9th place, and Mercer will move up as well. Shame from Daz there, not what you want on your first fastest lap out of the pits. Finds himself down in 11th place now. And we're back with our leader Martin, just running away with this race at the moment. He's got a pretty decent gap back to Mac in 2nd place. Mac going purple, setting the fastest lap of the race. Mangino just holding on to 3rd place, just dropping out the slipstream and Mac up ahead now, I think. So Drsl in 4th place, is squirming out of that left-hander. Bullet's still weathering the pressure. Zach myself having a little bit of a look. Bullets keeps the power around the outside. He's got the inside of this next corner, so yeah, good defensive driving there from Bullet. Keeps himself ahead. I was on that 5th place, and Wilco slowly closing the gap up from 7th now as well by the looks of it. Really good pace from Martin. He's done a really good job on the fuel saving as well. Turning this into a comfortable one stop. Mac will have to stop again from 2nd place. So he's got a lot of pace at this stage of the race. Imagine Mangino will be looking to pit at the end of this lap as well. Drsl will be out for another long stint. So Bullet's pulled a bit of a gap to myself, and Wilco's just picking up the slipstream now of myself in 6th. Can he? No one in front or behind at the moment. Just get his head down, get some good lap times in. See Rocker just coming under pressure from Mercer. Dan's a little bit further back down the track after that, after his incident. So Rocker doing enough at the moment as he sets a PB. So finally starting to get the Zonda dialed in a little bit. Very difficult drive, very difficult car to drive. Anyway, and this track can be quite difficult to get the motors. Big incident there as he tries to get the power down, as his wheel touches the grass coming out of that left hand, who was all over the place. I think Mercer just taking a bit of avoidance action there. And just up ahead we've got Martin pitting for 1st place. Be a long stop as well. We'll have to take on pretty much a full tank of fuel. Mac a little bit untidy coming out the last corner there. Should take the provisional lead of this race. 1:55.9 from Mac. And Mungino pit in as well for his first pit stop of the race. See if Drsl gets ahead of Martin as well. I think he has done. Yeah, Martin just coming out of the pits now. So Martin rejoining the race in 3rd place. Pretty good position going into the last part of this race. Bullet's still in 4th, myself in 5th. Wilco 6th. Say Mungino. What was he? Canny's just got ahead there. So yeah, that clean air Canny was running in, managed to get some pretty good times in, and he's just got himself ahead of Mungino as Mungino rejoins the race for his last stint in 8th place, switching to the harder compound as well, going to the racing sauce for this last 15 minutes of the race. And it looks like I've got ahead of Bullet somewhere. Put myself up to 4th, Bullet down to 5th. Let's take a look back. I was saying earlier, Bullet's been weathering the pressure pretty well for 2 or 3 laps now. I think we've both managed to pull a bit of a gap back to Wilco there, side by side coming in his left-hander, just about got the inside, and sweep through to take 4th place. Bullet down to 5th now. Now Wilco made a mistake somewhere, but should be looking to close that gap on 4th and 5th again. See if Kenny can defend his position from a little bit wide there, but should be safe. We'll see if Mungino gets a good run down this straight. As I say, need to really get ahead before the left-hander. Not quite long enough, and just settles behind him for the moment. Might well be short shifting and fuel saving a little bit, just to make sure he can go the distance. Yeah, Kenny doing enough at the moment to defend 7th place. Check the lap times of Drsl compared to Martin behind as well. He's hitting Mac going critical on fuel now, so I imagine he'll be diving into the pits this lap. Be interesting to see where he feeds out. He'll have to take on a lot of fuel, but I'd imagine he'll be made to make this his last pit stop of the race. So jumping in there, 8% of fuel. It's going to be a long stop. Drsl coming through 2nd place. Check that lap time now, just over 1:55. And this will be Martin's first flying lap, so up into 2nd place again now, myself in 3rd as Wilco's ahead of Bullet. Let's take a look back. Yeah, just midway point, lap 9 now. The Bullet was looking quick. Him and myself were pulling away from Wilco at one point, and looks like Wilco's found that pace again. And Bullet's run wide already, so that's where the move got done. So Wilco can hang it around the outside of this corner. He does. Yeah, great move from Wilco there, up into 5th place. Bullet down to 6th now, has hit the Mac. So he's pitting from what was the lead. And we'll see where he feeds back in, because he does have to take on a fair bit of fuel. Will be time consuming, so walk up into 4th, Bullet into 5th. There's Kenny and Mangino coming down the straight now. Kenny's still ahead of Mangino, and Mac just feeding out in front of him by the looks of it, yeah. And Mac refeeds into the race in 6th place, got a full tank of fuel as well. So he can go absolutely flat out until the end now, I'd imagine. So a bit further down the grid, Stuart Mercer in 9th place. Daz not that far behind in 10th. Rocker a little bit further back in 11th. 2 minute 13 last time around for Rocker. I think he had a bit of an incident somewhere. Anyway, leader of this race, Drsl. So pretty sure he has to pit again. And Martin, who should be good to the end of the race, only about 2 or 3 seconds behind. So very good position this stage of the race, Martin. So he's newcomers to the drivers' room for this season, and yeah, extremely quick driver, very welcome addition. So this tier 1 in the Sunday League now is over half the drivers on the full 16-man grid could easily win a race. Some very quick drivers in tier 1 now. So where are we? 19 minutes. Bullet settling down in 5th. It looks like he's probably coming in for a pit stop soon. 3rd, 4th and 5th, all pretty similar fuel levels. You'll see, yeah, it's myself going into the pits, Wilco and Bullet all diving into the pits. So this should promote Mac back up into 3rd place. A really good timing from Mac there. His 3 overtakes done with not too much effort put in to back up into 3rd place. Got Kenny up to 4th place now, still ahead of Mangino in 5th. I think Mung's really just Kenny runs a little bit wide coming out of T1. That could give Mung a chance to get up the inside. I think he has, yeah. Mangino up to 4th place, Kenny down to 5th. Only a slight mistake, but these cars are incredibly quick, so only a little mistake like that you're going to lose a lot of momentum and lose a lot of lap time. So anyway, after that round of pit stops, what did I pit? I think I was 3rd when I pitted, so back out in 6th, and looks like Bullet's got the jump on Wilco in the pit. So whether that's yeah, see Wilco with a full tank of fuel there. Bullet taking on just over 3/4 of a tank, so gets the jump on Wilco in the pit stops, moves himself back up into 7th place. So Wilco can go flat out until the end of the race. Bullet might find himself having to fuel save a little bit, which is going to be very difficult when you've got a car going flat out behind you. Let's have a quick run through the grid, and you see the gap at Martin's really closed that gap up to Drsl now. He must be thinking of pitting. So just come around the final 2 corners. It's long slow left onto a very difficult right-hander onto the main straight. I say very difficult, it's not a hard corner, it's very difficult to get right and put the power down onto the main straight. You can end up losing quite a bit of time, but there's Martin retaking the lead of the race, going purple at the same time as well. Drsl taking on a lot of fuel as Mac comes onto the main straight now. See if he gets the jump on Drsl or not. So he should be good to the end of the race now. And yeah, that is Mac up into 2nd, but goes wide in T1. Drsl just coming out of the pits now. I think Mangino's got ahead of. So Mangino with a bit of an undercut as well, up into 2nd place. A big mistake there from Mac in T1. So Mangino up into 2nd place now, and Drsl taking 3rd place round T2 after that mistake from Mac. So I think Drsl will be looking to put Mangino under pressure. Mung on the harder compound and really trying to stretch this out to a 1-stopper. So Drsl looking in a pretty good position at the moment. Was a little bit of contact there through the sweeping left-hander. No damage, but Drsl having a look, takes a little bit of a look on that left-hander again, backs out of it sensibly. Probably had a flashback of smashing into the barrier a few laps ago. So Drsl slotting into third, Mac in fourth, myself in fifth, Bullet in sixth, Wilco seventh, Canny in eighth, Mercer under pressure from Daz now, battle for ninth and 10th. And just flicking back, I think we're see an overtake from Drsl and Mungino there. Yes, Drsl on the fresher super softs, should be carrying a lot more speed this stage of the race. Not a lot Mungino could do there. Just got to hold on to the back of these guys now. See that tyre wear kicking in for Mac now though as well. So similar tyre wear for Mac and Mungino at this stage of the race, but obviously Mac on the, Mungino on the harder compound. Is Mac picking up the slipstream as he has another look at the T1. He's made a couple of overtakes into the T1 already this race. Nothing doing that time around. So Mungino holding on to third place for the time being. Myself in fifth, Bullet in sixth. Personal best for Wilco last lap, 155. So 155 flat from Bullet though. But yeah, everyone's starting to find that sweet spot. Canny in 8th place. He's only probably about 3 seconds behind Wilco at the moment. A lot further back, he's got Daz ahead of Mercer in the T1. This is Mercer having a little bit of a look. Slots back into 10th place, and Rocker in 11th. So Martin really starting to run away with his race a little bit. He's got a huge gap back to Drsl. In second place, Drsl obviously can go flat out until the end, but that is a massive, massive gap. Let's have a quick look at the live timings just to see. 18.6 seconds back to Drsl. Well, yeah, Martin looking very, very good at the moment. Just has to be sensible with the fuel and the tyres, but more than capable of doing so. And still setting 1 minute 54s. Incredible pace from Martin this stage of the race. Drsl in clean air now as we've lost Mungino somewhere. It's dropped back down to 5th place. Let's have a look back. I'm just rejoining Mungino at the midway point, lap 13. Oh, a long downhill left-hander, and he's just run wide, picked up the AstroTurf, and smashes the barrier for good measure as well. Just about avoids a full spin out, but drops from 3rd place down to 5th now. Myself taking advantage of that, moving up into 4th place. See what Bullet can do as well in 6th place. It looks like Wilco's closed that gap up a bit now though. So after setting the 155 flat, it may well have had a bit of an untidy lap. So Wilco's definitely on it at the moment, closing that gap up as they come through the final 2 corners onto the main straight. Check the lap times of these 2 guys. 56 and 55 ones, nearly a second taken out of Bullet on that last lap, and that's someone running wide up ahead. Is that Mungino running wide again into T1s? Race absolutely falling apart last couple of minutes. Was running third, had a lot to do to fight off Mac and Drsl, but finds himself right back, 2 mistakes, finds himself right back down to 7th place now, and going to have Candy for company very, very soon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Martin being DC'd from the lead of this race. A Polyphonic Digital absolutely atrocious servers at the moment. Martin looking like a comfortable win, and has been disconnected. Unfortunately, not a lot anyone can do about it. The race must carry on, but this will be no points scored for Martin. May well blow the championship wide open at the top of the table. You see Drsl taking what is now 1st place. Got Mac a little bit further behind, but I think he's done enough to stay safe from Mac and myself up to a podium place now, after a disconnect from Lionessi and Martin just now. So Bullet in 4th place, still under pressure from Wilco in 5th. Mangino not far behind in 6th. This could turn into a 4-way fight in the last couple of minutes of this race. See Wilco a lot later on the brakes there, closing the gap up. So like I say in F1, the concertina effect, is it? But anyway, got Bullet in 4th place, Wilco in 5th, Mangino 6th, Canny in 7th. Daz in 8th, looks like he's pulled a pretty comfortable gap back to Mercer in 9th. Rocker now in the top 10 position thanks to the DCs. So Drsl going purple on that last lap as well, so definitely had the pace. Would have been interesting to see if he could have closed that gap to Martin, but it was around the 18-second mark at the point of Martin disconnecting. So it was looking for a race, looking like a race win for Martin at the time. Extremely unfortunate, but a new race leader, Drsl, followed by Mac, followed by myself. Similar field spread between the top 3. Bullet's still doing just enough to stay ahead of Wilco this stage of the race. And both of these guys will be on for season best finishes as things stand at the moment. Back up to speed, critical on fuel now, just under a minute of the race left to go. It's 1:56.4. A 2-minute lap from Mangino after that mistake. See what Canny can do. Looks all pretty set at the back as well. Dad's in 8th, Mercer a bit further back in 9th, and Rocker in 10th. So Drsl getting really smoking up the back tyres coming out the final corner there. 1:55.4 from Martin, from Drsl, 1:55.9, 1:56.8 from myself. So can't stay with the pace of the top 2 at the moment. Bullet diving into the pits with 10 seconds of this race left to go. Really misjudged the fuel there. It's going to be a quick splash and dash, but he's lost out places. He was running 4th. So Wilco up to 4th, Mangino 5th, Canny up to 6th, and Bullet refeeds into 7th. He's just passing the 30-minute mark now. Oh, yeah, really bad misjudgment on the field there from Bullet, it seems. Drops back to 7th place on what is now the final lap of the race. Looks like Daz might well be our first official finisher in 8th place. It's going to be extremely quick at this stage of the race, but it's got a lot to do. Canny's weathered quite a bit of pressure from a couple of drivers already this race, but yeah, we've got Daz finishing first official finisher in 8th place, Mercer in 9th, spinning across the line, and Rocker in 10th. Keep an eye on this, and I think Bullet's just about got ahead of Canny there. Canny just slots back in. Just can't do a lot to fight it. Next man up the road is Mangino. See if he can make another place up. Mangino's got a good gap at the moment, but let's check the leader. We'll come back to that fight in a minute, but race winner today, Drsl. Very good race for himself. One mistake, big crash into the barrier, but gets the win. 2nd place, hit the Mac, pretty comfortable in the end in 2nd. Myself picking up another podium this season. Very good result for myself. Looks like Wilco pretty comfortable 4th place in the end after Bullet pitting. That's Bullet coming round the corner in 5th place. Let's take a quick look back. So yeah, just rejoining the last lap with Bullet now. He's closing the gap to Mangino. So it's come on to the final sort of straight of the lap. He's already got round the outside, so up into 5th place. So yeah, after pitting at the end of the last lap, short on fuel, quick splash and dash. He's made a couple of places up on his charge back through the field, so pretty good all things considered. So anyway, back to the line crossing myself in third. So Wilco in fourth. I think it's the best result of the season so far. Good drive from Wilco, and yeah, good drive in the end from Bullet, picking up 5th place right at the end. 6th place for Canny, good result as well. Mangino 7th. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next week.